All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Jun Shin. I'm a product manager here at Autodesk in beautiful San Francisco office.
I'm Adam Perry. I'm also a product manager here in sunny San Francisco.
Today it's very sunny. It's nice. So we're here because we're very excited to tell you about this announcement that we have. I think some of you have seen the tweet and so on. Do you think a lot of the users know about what we're about to say?
I don't know. We're very cagey. Should we tell them?
I think we should tell them real time, and let's break the news.
All right. So I am very, very pleased to announce that we are enabling an Apps tab from directly within AutoCAD itself, and this Apps tab will be available in exchange. So anyone who has the 2012 version of AutoCAD, today when they woke up at 8 a.m. Pacific time, boom, it appeared.
That's right.
And this is one of the beautiful things about Autodesk's online presence, is now we can deliver all kinds of things. This is one of them, on the spot, so no extra downloads needed. And June, I'll tell you why I'm excited about this.
Why are you excited about this?
Apps have been around for a long time. Now you have a safe harbor to go grab apps from within the product itself. People have been using AutoCAD for a long time, and there's a lot of specialties or niches that, folks run into roadblocks, and they say, if only a tool existed to do this. And we're actually going to show them one of these tools right now. And now they've got a way to say, okay, instead of going out into the big, vast internets, right, and trying to figure out what's going on, and is the page safe, is the content safe, now I've got a place to go from within the product where I know someone at Autodesk has taken a look, and so I know what I'm downloading is safe. I know it's going to have immediate value. I know it's going to be an easy install. I'm going to be able to use it right away.
That's right.
And so now I can do that, and then I can get back to work right away. And on the flip side of the coin, listen, we know a lot of you guys out there have written apps. I mean, we know it, and we know it, and we know it. I think for me, now these guys all have a safe venue, right, to share this content into the marketplace of AutoCAD users, dying to get a hold of this stuff. Now, I don't care whether you're doing it just to be a mensch and a good guy and to upload some content to the community, or whether you think that there's some money to be made here. Now at least you can reach your audience in a very effective, targeted way.
That's right. I think, Adam, we already have something like 150 apps, right, in the apps tab. So that's a great start. And I know you're going to show one of them today. And like you mentioned, I think if any of the users already have something, would it be a really valuable list routine that you have written or whatever? And
content,
maybe content, and you're interested in sharing that with other AutoCAD users, or you want to make $2, $5 on that valuable app that you have created, you can go ahead and submit your app as well. That's the whole beauty and the excitement about this.
I agree. Couldn't agree more.
That's right. So what do you think? Do you think we should go ahead and show what we've got?
I think we should show them. I mean, that's what it's all about.
All right. Let's do it.
So I'm going to show you guys a little AutoCAD session I have running. And for those of you who might have shut down Exchange, it's this little black and white icon up in the corner that'll bring it back up again.
That's right.
And again, this app tab just appeared this morning. It wasn't there yesterday. We used our internet's magic and made it appear. And if you click on it, what you'll see is we'll switch over to a whole new environment. A couple of things I want to bring your attention to. First is you see the star ratings in the front center of the app. All our users will have the ability to rate these apps. So over time, you can see sort of which apps that people like, which apps that people haven't used as much. In addition, we'll do things like have featured apps, so you can see we have a number of featured apps right now, and then you can see which ones are selling the best over on the left hand now.
Hey Adam, can you turn down the audio at the mixer button?
Sure, I can. Hold on 1 second while we turn down the audio.
All right.
How's
Is that
that?
good?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I guess that's good. Good?
Yeah.
All right. Barring other technical difficulties, it's time to do a little bit of search. Doo-doo. Now, for those of you...
Just like, that was just like any kind of keyword search, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if you happen to hear about a particular plugin that your coworker is using, that's really nice, you could just go ahead and put in the search word and it goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, you know, before I do that, one of the things I want to show them is if instead of doing just a general search, because folks might not know exactly what they're searching for, you've got a number of industry-specific search criteria, and I'm highlighting over each of them so people get an idea the level of categories we've created. So at the time where you upload an app, what'll happen is you can assign a category to it, or maybe we would assign a category to it, sort of based on what industry we think it's in.
That's
so
right.
it's just another way for users to go ahead and be able to sort these things if they don't necessarily know what they're looking for.
Yeah, Adam, can you actually go to the General tab and let's click on the productivity tools. I saw a bunch of really small free apps that apparently users really like that are
Ta-da!
exactly highly rated, and anything from Spiral to DWF batch plotting, plugin and whatnot. So lots of great goodies.
Lots of
there.
great stuff. So I'm going to switch back to the main tab. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at a particular app?
Sure.
I'm going to grab this Coins app.
Apparently
So-
it's a featured app.
Absolutely. One of the reasons it's a featured app is because we know it has a lot of great value. People have told us that it's good. It's got 4 stars already.
Wow.
And this is just a page that has a number of details. So people might want to know how big the download is. They want to know. They might want to know when it's
3.1
released.
megabytes.
Exactly. They also might want to know a longer description of what it does. Now, this app is very straightforward. We're actually going to demo it to you, but the basic idea here is it'll take any M text that's in your AutoCAD drawing and translate it from one language to another.
Well, now we have AutoCAD files that are, going around globally, right? So it sounds like what this would do is if you get an AutoCAD file from, let's say, China or like France or something, and you happen to see some text that you don't understand because you and I only, know English and whatnot,
English.
then you could use the free plugin
Absolutely.
to get the translation right on AutoCAD file.
Yep.
Is that?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So let's go grab it. Let's download it.
All right.
I'm going to pretend this is the first time installing this. We have a very condensed EULA. You just click the terms of use and the end user license agreement. Go ahead and install.
All right. So that's it. I mean, you just pretty much clicked on install. I do see that you are logged in.
I am. And I should mention that if I wasn't logged in, it would ask me to log in at this time. But since I knew we were going to be doing this demo, I went ahead and logged in ahead of time.
I believe as long as users have the Autodesk account, then you just have to go ahead and log in. You don't have to create a new account and just start using this immediately.
Yes, indeedy. So there you see it's installing. It's fairly quick. Most of these apps will get a view documentation button afterwards, and basically, these are just like the README notes like you'd see in any application. I should mention if for whatever reason you have a problem, something didn't go right, what you see is each vendor will have a support contact email address. So we want to make sure that our users have the best experience. So not only are we, vetting the apps internally, but we're also requiring that app providers give a way for our users to reach out to them with any questions they might have.
Yeah, and I see the support email address just right there, so that's great. Adam, what I really like about this help documentation is when I look at third-party plugins, the help documentation, it just tends to be all over the map. It could be a text file, it could be a Word file, but this is really nice, clean HTML file.
Yeah, nice
and
and
I
rich.
believe
Yep.
this is what you get for every single app that you download from the Exchange
Oh,
apps.
that's interesting. I didn't know that. Outstanding.
Yeah.
All right, so
Well, it looks like installation is
close
already
this down.
done.
Yay! All right, so where might I find such a tool? Well, of course, It is in the Plugins tab, exactly where you'd expect to find it, as it is a plugin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and open a document with something to translate.
All right.
All right. Now, here's what I find part of the beauty of this app.
Uh-huh.
So here we have some characters,
Mhm.
and me being a English guy
Mm-hmm.
and not speaking a whole bunch of foreign languages, especially not ones from Asia Pacific, I have
Mhm.
no idea what that language is.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm just going to click this Coins Translate.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to ask me to select some end text. So I'm going to go ahead, pick there,
Uh-huh.
click Enter, and it auto-detects the language for me. In other words, this could have been Chinese, it could have been Korean, it could have been Japanese. I don't know. I don't have to know.
Uh-huh.
Right? Just tell me the destination language.
Uh-huh.
I click Go, and I'm off to the races.
Oh my God.
So there you go.
And I happen to know Korean. That's direct,
coincidence?
accurate translation. So that's a great job.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And it's just that simple.
How useful.
Yeah, very useful. You can see,
Great.
you can have a variety of apps up there on the pane. Very simple, very easy, and we know it's going to bring you guys immediate value.
Wow. And look at the plugins tab. I guess as you download these apps, you'll get little icons that you find from
Absolutely.
the Exchange apps and the useful apps that you could continue to use.
So I'm just going to bring Exchange back up so our folks can have another peek at it. Now, a couple other things I just want to point out. First is, you app developers, you would click this button. All you need is a PayPal account.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's just so that you have a way to get any funds you want to charge.
Mm-hmm.
It's a safe transactions available in 40 countries.
Mm-hmm.
I should mention, you will find this in English only. When I say English only, that means that Exchange has to be set to English.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, and the second thing is, as of today,
Mm-hmm.
it's vanilla AutoCAD only. So if you have LT, if you have some other flavor of AutoCAD, like architecture, you won't
Mhm.
see this. It's our AutoCAD base that'll see this right now.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I wanted to point your attention to is, over time, you'll probably have downloaded a kabillion of these apps. You sort of want to see, what have I done? What haven't I done? What have I installed? What have I uninstalled?
Mhm.
So you've got a tab here, and I'll just mouse hover over it
Okay.
to get the tooltips. That'll sort of shows you, what you've done, who the publisher is.
Mhm.
It's also an easy way to go click through a bunch of the documentation at once,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is really helpful, especially when you have a bunch of these things
Yeah.
installed.
You know what? This is actually one of my favorite features of Exchange apps because not only tells you and gives you the chronological order of all the things that you've gotten,
Mhm.
but we showed a free app. But
Mhm.
let's say a user has purchased an app.
Mhm.
That's where it's available. And let's say I purchased it at work and I now want to go home and use it.
I
You can
see.
just click on that and access it that way.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah. So that's cool.
And so this allows you to look at your favorites, share, and so that is, unless I'm mistaken, the majority of what we have today. Is there anything else you want to chat through?
Yeah, exactly. So AutoCAD users, please go ahead and send us to chat if you have any questions, comments, and we'll go through those in a little bit. And Adam, do you want to talk about the little click here link right there in the banner? If they start using this and have any questions or comments?
Absolutely. So one of the things we want to direct people to do is this is new and fresh. Tell us how to make it better. Tell us what you love about it. Tell us how many kabillion apps. Tell us you downloaded every free app. Tell us you're going to submit 1,000 of your own. You're going to upload 1,000 of your own apps. Ask us anything and everything you want. We're actively monitoring this site. Everyone's interested in watching this thing grow. And so, we're definitely interested in your feedback.
Okay. So I have a few questions. So Adam, I'm going to start asking some questions. So first question, how many apps are available today in the product?
We have about 150.
Okay.
The thing is, it's almost amusing to give a number because as the longer the store goes out, that number is going to grow exponentially, right? So
Exactly.
we think that pretty soon it's 200, 300, 400, etc.
Another user is asking, do we plan to add more apps?
Well, I think Autodesk may add more apps over time, but what we're looking for is this is all about the community. And I think whether you're a large app developer and you have, crazy marketing plans around, leveraging the Autodesk community, or whether you're, just a guy at home working on AutoCAD, you got a small company, or you're, an individual designer, and you just want to give value to the community, that's what really makes app stores succeed. Apps succeed. So it's really all about the users and the apps they develop for the application itself.
So it sounds like we want apps from companies, small companies, individual users who may have anything. This is all for you.
I will, sorry, I was going to say, one of the things you will notice is if an app is from Autodesk, we'll have a little badge on it. If you look at the DWF PDF Batch Publish, under the bestsellers, our #1 bestseller, of course it's free, so we sell cadoodles of them. It's got a little AutoCAD badge in the corner, and that's how you'd identify something that came from Autodesk.
Exactly.
If our users are interested.
Yeah, I believe we have just a handful that are from Autodesk, but mostly this is for anyone
Absolutely.
Who has anything to offer. You'll like this question. A user asked, what if I have an app? How do I make it available for this?
Oh,
So
do you know if I've written an app, that is?
I think you might want to show the
actual
link
portal?
there. Uh-huh.
All right, let me just
At least
bring the
point to
screen
it.
back. Okay, so in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a very large button where you can submit an app as a developer. So you go ahead and sign up. You publish your app. There's a small waiting period. I mean, we've got to make sure this app has value.
Like a couple of weeks, I think.
Yep. But then it just appears.
Yeah.
So anyone searching for it will be able to find it.
That's right. That's right. So very easy. Are the apps free? Well, I know the answer. A lot of the apps are free. I think we have about half and half right now, free apps. Currently, some of the apps go up to something like $200, but that's the very expensive app. Most of the apps are about $5, $17, about $22 or so, but a lot of free ones too. Oh, you'll love this question too. I'm a CAD manager. Can I turn off the apps feature for my users? Can I restrict the availability to my team?
Absolutely. So, of course, this is one of the big concerns. A lot of people want to lock down CAD environment, and apps take away from that. So we thought about this question 6 ways from Sunday. There are no less than 5 different ways to restrict access to this apps tab. And that is both pre-deployment. So if you want to set up your AutoCAD as a deployment and push it out without access, no problem, can do. But even, 2012 has been out for months now.
Yeah.
And so some may say, well, I've already deployed, oh my God, what am I going to do? No problem. We actually have an app that will disable the apps.
That's right.
So you've got a way to turn off the App Store post-deployment. And of course, I should mention, there are a number of ways that you can restrict access to any web-based tool using tools that are available as part of your operating system.
Yeah.
So those tools are, and we actually have a document where we've listed all the different ways and exactly how to do that.
Exactly.
And you can find that on our Exchange site today.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly it. I think there are about 5 different methods, and they are well documented and available on various websites. And I don't know, and there is a plugin in the Apps tab that would disable it. It's called Disable Exchange. So if you want to do the search users, you can go ahead and disable it that way too. Let's see. Oh, here's a question to you. What's the significance of your black shirt, Adam? Somebody asks.
As we all know, black is very slenderizing, so I want to make sure I have the best profile possible for the webcast today. Thanks for that question. Appreciate that.
Good job. Another question. Can I get the apps if I have AutoCAD 2010? That's a good question. We had to make a tough decision there, huh?
Yeah. Well, I think a couple things. The first thing you'll find is that all the apps will say what versions they're supported on, right? The second thing is the Apps tab will only appear in 2012.
Yeah.
So what you're probably going to find is that most people have written apps have written it for 2012, going forward.
Exactly.
But over time, of course, I think what users will find is that there'll be plenty of apps that are available in 2012, even when 2013 and 2014 and 2015, et cetera, are available.
Exactly. I have a few more questions, so I'll just try to
I'll
those kind of quickly.
Let's go for it.
Besides translation, what other types of apps are available?
Oh my God! Well, there's this great app whose name escapes me, but June will remind me. So a lot of times you create geometry, you copy to the clipboard, you paste it, and what this app does is allows you to maintain a laundry list of clipboard items, right? So let's say I have a highly detailed symbol, and then a block with some detail, and then some end text that's really detailed. Instead of creating, a block library and then I have to worry about where I store it, this app just allows me to copy and paste specific clipboard items by selecting them from a left-hand nav. So you almost want to call like a feature management tree for clipboard items, right? And it just speeds up the whole copy-paste process tremendously. That's just another example of another app. In fact, one of the interesting things, June, sorry to wax poetic, one of the interesting things is that we had an app developer stumble upon another batch printing utility that was better than the one that he wrote. Right? And so he said, you know what? I'm going to use this batch printing utility, right, rather than his own batch utility. And we think what will happen over time is this will really up-level the quality of apps. And that's the beauty of having an apps marketplace like this, right? Whatever's in there today, as people see and they get inspired and they, or they have their own personal frustration, you'll see all kinds of stuff that we never even thought of.
Exactly. Really good point. Let's see. Well, someone's asking, do we have any suggestions for new apps?
Well, I think I'm open to anything.
I think so. With only 150 apps,
exactly.
Anything that anyone thinks might have a huge value.
Yep. I know we think about, one of the pieces, the points I'd like to make is sometimes when people think apps, they only think about programs that run. But one of the points that we've tried to underscore as part of this presentation is that we also consider content apps. So let's say you work for a Danish desk company, right? And there's a couple of hardware parts for Danish desks, and you wanted to build a block library of them, right? Because they're not available on any other. And that might be like just the thing that other people interested in sort of high-end, modern furniture might be interested in, right? That would be like a block library of content, but we would consider that an app.
Yeah, definitely. Another good question, who sets the price of these apps?
We set the price. No, just kidding. Each price is set by the individual. And so they can charge as much or as little as they want, and the market will bear the fruits of their labor. That's
right, and because we are PayPal enabled, right? Any app submitter can go ahead and say, well, I do want to sell this for $5, and as long as you provide your PayPal account information, you could start selling, assuming that your app does get approved and be posted by Autodesk. And you can start collecting revenue right away. So that does remind me of, I should mention two things. The first is that PayPal is a US dollar only site. So if you're using the euro or the British pound, it'll automatically do that conversion for you. People will pay in US dollars. The second is, for those of you aspiring to billionaires out there, there's going to be tax implications if you start to make tons and tons of money off this. So understand that those tax obligations, we sort of expect you guys as business owners to understand what the implications of those things are. There are a number of free resources online that you can consult, but Autodesk certainly doesn't presume to give any guidance because this is available in 40 countries, and every country and region and state is going to have its own set of taxes. Really good point. Something to be aware of. Oh, by the way, along with that, initially Autodesk is taking no commission at all. And so if you have an app and you want to start selling that, do that right now. From us to you, from the goodness of our hearts. There you go. Oh, I like this question. Can users rate and review the apps? Absolutely. So we already pointed out the little star ratings that users can give. The beauty of single sign-on is some people have expressed to me, oh my God, what if someone tries to game the system and rate my app low because they want to sell their app? It's all tied to an Autodesk user ID. So you can't rate an app more than once. Right? So once you put your rating, now you can change your rating if you decide you like something, you decide you don't like it as much. But once you rate an app, that's it. So you're really going to see the great apps rise to the top. Exactly. So it sounds like as long as you have the Autodesk ID, you have downloaded or purchased an app, then you have the ability to go ahead and sign in and provide ratings and
Absolutely.
ranking.
It's a good point about the purchase thing. We can't have people rating apps that they actually haven't used.
That's right.
Yep.
This question is a good one too. If I'm deploying the
It's about my
apps-
shirt? No.
We have another question about your appearance, but
Okay.
we'll skip that one
That
for
one.
the moment. If I'm deploying the apps across multiple machines,
Uh-huh.
do I pay just one low price? Oh, I don't know if you would know the answer for this question.
It's an excellent question. I'll say this. Each app might have its own terms and conditions
That's
and
right.
rules. That being said, I think the place I want to take that question is, let's say you buy a new machine, right? And you've installed your app on your old machine, but the old machine is gone.
Right.
Again, because we use a single sign-on, right, we will recognize who you are. So when you go to log in,
That's
you can
right.
go ahead and download that app onto your machine again.
That's right.
So once you pay, you're good.
Exactly. So I think that's a really good point. Do refer to the terms and conditions. I think most of the apps you're allowed to install in your work machine and home machine. And if you get a new machine, then you're able to install that. Again, you're not supposed to, in most of the cases, purchase an app and deploy it across the firm. Okay? Let's see. Ooh, how do I get my app featured on Autodesk Exchange?
Well, June, I'm going to let you handle that question.
That one, I guess, I don't know. So we have several people here working with this product. We'll definitely send us the request. We'll look at it. Anything that we do feel that we can feature and we should feature because it's either new or it adds a lot of value, it should be discoverable easily by the users, we'll definitely consider and have those be featured. And we rotate these. We haven't decided exactly how often, but you'll definitely have a chance. So
Yeah,
definitely-
I think too. Once this becomes mature, and if someone submits a new app that's really high value, but of course doesn't have the ratings, right, that
Yep.
other apps might have, that would be one example of a way we could be convinced to make it part of the featured apps.
Yep, good point. You know, Adam, I think I have a more difficult job than you do because I have to constantly look at the questions and ask you, and while you're talking, I have to look at the questions again. But next question, do the apps work in Citrix environment?
Ooh, that's an excellent question. You know what? We're not sure. Don't want to give you the wrong answer. What we will do is go ahead and grab that. Can we grab the user? We can find out. All right, so we will go ahead and grab our user. Grab your information. We'll get back to you. That's a really good question.
Yep. Next question, do you like the Flintstones?
Are we talking like Betty Wilma, or are we talking about Fred and Barney? No, I'm not that much of a cartoon guy, actually, but it's an interesting question. There's an app for that.
There you go. I don't know. That might be all the questions I see. Do we have any more questions? I don't know. Well, that might be it, Adam.
Thanks for joining me today, June.
Well,
Appreciate
that was really fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Again, I would say, well, users, we do have the click here button in the banner. So if you have any question, comments, definitely do write to us. And it's been fun. This was my
It's
first.
been really good. My
yeah.
first Facecast as
Yeah,
well.
me too. Me too. I can't wait to see how it was recorded. All right. Thanks.